Well, welcome back, everybody, for Championship Weekend. Obviously, we're excited, as we are every year, to have all three manufacturers sit down with you to talk about their season. And with me, we have Jim Campbell, Chevrolet U.S. Vice President of Performance Vehicles and Motorsports, Dave Pericak, Global Director of Ford Performance, and Ed Laukes, Group Vice President Marketing for Toyota Motor North America. And before we talk about the action on the track, obviously these fierce competitors have continued to drive fan engagement throughout the year at record levels, specifically putting out great exclusive content from all three brands. This year, they had a unique program that they worked with NASCAR on, in which fans were entered for a chance to win new trucks and VIP experience to Champions Week and other experiential prizes, and it really helped them connect their success on the track with fans and consumers. So congratulations, gentlemen, on a great year on and off the track. These playoffs have been highlighted by intense competition, and the rivalries are not exclusive to drivers and teams. So I'll ask each of you to talk about your season, and Jim, we'll start with you.
Well, thank you. It's great to be with you. Sorry for my voice. I lost it here the last couple of days, and I was not screaming, but it just went away. But this year it's been exciting in many respects, and we've had our share of disappointments as well. Obviously, it was great to have Sauter in the hunt last night to go for a second consecutive championship. He came in second, as you know. He was a great champion last year, and we're so proud of him and everybody at GMS. The Xfinity side's been very exciting in terms of our progress there, to see so many young drivers coming through that series. They are making names for themselves, and many of them are going to go on to the Cup Series next year. And we're excited that today we're going to see 4 Chevrolet Camaros and their drivers and teams in the final championship race. Obviously, on the Cup side, some highs and lows. We had 10 wins this year. Obviously, last year, Jimmy, the defending champion, and that was our 31st Drivers' Championship. Yet we put 8 drivers into the playoff at the beginning and didn't transfer 1 into the final, which is very disappointing. With that said, I'm really optimistic about what is going to happen next year. We have our new Camaro ZL1 race car, which we Dale Earnhardt Jr. and Mark Royce, who leads our product development at our company. They basically helped debut that race car. They came up in a Camaro ZL1 race car at our world headquarters in Detroit, Michigan on Jefferson Avenue. And then Jimmy Johnson, our defending champion, drove the new Camaro ZL1 up to debut at this past August. So we're very excited about racing the Camaro ZL1 next year. And then I'm really excited about the combination of drivers we have for next year. It's a combination of veterans. Obviously, Jimmy Johnson, McMurray, Newman, Allmendinger, and Kane, these guys know how to win. Combined with younger drivers that are hungry, want to make a statement. Obviously, Chase Elliott coming back. Kyle Larson just has absolute momentum. William Byron's coming up. Alex Bowman, Austin Dillon, Ty Dillon, and Chris Buescher. An amazing inflection point to have these young drivers come in, combined with veteran drivers. So disappointed we're not in the championship today. I know that the Team Chevy drivers are going to focus on winning the race, and also it's going to be an amazing day as Dale Jr. Completes his amazing career here in NASCAR, and we're so proud to be a partner with him.
Dave, your thoughts on the season?
Yeah, I'm also glad to be here today with you. We've had, as with any season, you have your highs and your lows, but we have a lot to reflect on. I think that's very positive for Ford. A lot of momentum going forward. If you look at the Truck Series, Chase Briscoe winning last night, his first win, it was extremely exciting. And we had obviously a contender for the playoffs, so really well done by those 2 young men there. And then Xfinity, we've been obviously showing a lot of progress in Xfinity, and we'll see if we can't help get the Owners' Championship for Penske today. And then in the Cup, we have had a pretty awesome year, I think. If you look at it overall, we've had 6 different drivers make it to victory lane from 4 different teams, showing that the entire Ford camp is elevating and raising the chinning bar. We started out this season with a new team, Stewart-Haas Racing, and it's a lot of work to change over to a new manufacturer and get to learn each other. But started off the season with the Daytona 500 victory, and then here we are today with Kevin Harvick in the championship. So to have also 5 guys make the playoffs and 2 of those be first-time winners was also pretty important with Mr. Blaney and Mr. Stenhouse. And then we're proud to be here at Ford Championship Weekend with with 2 drivers that are contending for this title. And so overall, I think it's been a really positive year for us, a lot of positive momentum, and we're looking forward to 18 because we know we've got more coming.
Ed, your view on 17?
So good morning or good afternoon, everyone. I think we'll get this out of the way right away. I think you've heard me say before that we are competitors on the showroom, we're competitors on the racetrack, but we're all car guys, and we all get along really well, and we work together for the betterment of the sport. So with that, I want to congratulate Jim on his championship in the Xfinity Series. And then so at that point, I'm glad that he made his remarks over that. So Dave and I can take it from this point forward. So
right,
Jim,
right.
is there anything else you want to add before you move on? I mean,
I want to thank you for William Byron.
So-
Thank you for that.
you're welcome. You are welcome for William Byron. Obviously, Jim.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Congratulations on the truck championship, too, by the way.
Thank you. Obviously, 2017 in the Truck Series last night, starting off in the Truck Series with Christopher and KBM, huge deal for us. Also, another Manufacturers Championship, so we're very excited about that. Going into Xfinity, obviously we had some challenges with some rookies this year, and going into the Cup Series for the grand finale, having 2 teams with 2 seasoned drivers, Kyle Busch and Martin Truex, is a huge deal for us. And we're poised also to win Manufacturers Championship for the 2nd year in a row in Cup, which when we came into the sport obviously was a huge deal for us. So I think some of you were writing at the beginning of the season that what was going on with Toyota, and is it the 2018 Camry that was causing the problems? And we worked on it, JGR, Furniture Row, and TRD, who is a linchpin of the success that we have within our organization. You all saw them come together, and now the result is 15 wins, 16 poles, and 2 guys that will be competing tomorrow for a championship. So overall, we're really excited about that. 2018 we'll talk about, I think, a little bit later, but right now we just want to focus on finishing up this season tomorrow with another championship.
So, Jim, earlier this year, you unveiled the Camaro ZL1, and Chevrolet put 19 drivers into the playoffs. Talk about what 2018 looks like for you.
Well, my comments earlier really said it all. I think as we conclude the race here, this will be the final race for the Chevrolet SS. We debuted that in 2013, 73 wins. 3 of those years, a Chevy driver in the SS won the championship. We won 3 manufacturers championships during that time frame. So the SS has actually been a big success for us. Obviously, we wanted to be stronger and get into the playoffs here in the final year. But your opportunity to change the car has to cadence with what goes on in the showroom. And so obviously the SS, we are completing our production on the SS, which really spawned the selection of a new vehicle. And we really wanted to focus on what the reason why we brought the SS in is the same reason why we selected the Camaro ZL1, and that is fuel-injected V8 rear-wheel drive manual transmission to the showroom. The same on the racetrack for the SS, and that same thing goes for the Camaro ZL1. So fuel-injected V8 rear-wheel drive manual transmission to the showroom, same on the racetrack. And we think that's the authentic way to do it, showroom to the racetrack. And so we're really pleased with that, and cannot wait to get this on the track. And we've been spending a lot of time, obviously, in the wind tunnel. We went through all the testing we had to do for NASCAR, and got all that approved. And that debut in August at our world headquarters was pretty special. And then I really like this combination of drivers. We're going to lose some veteran drivers. It's for sure. It happens. It's part of the cycle. But we have a lot of these young drivers coming up. It's exciting. They're hungry, and the veterans, they want to put an exclamation point on their career. So I think it's a great combination.
So Ford wouldn't waste any time to start off the year transitioning to Stewart-Haas Racing and Kurt Busch winning the Daytona 500, and 2 playoff drivers in Ricky Stenhouse Jr. and Ryan Blaney, and with Brad here in the finals along with Kevin. Talk about how you're feeling about the Championship 4.
Yeah, we're feeling really good. I mean, we struggled, in the middle part of the season, figuring out the new rules package with our car and keeping up with the rest of these guys. But you can see that we've been hitting our stride here, and we figured out quite a bit. And so we're coming to Miami with the best that we've got. We feel very confident in what we have, and that's why we're also looking forward to next season as well, because we understand where the rules are going for next season, and we feel that we've figured out how to make it work for us. So very confident. We've got 2 veteran drivers, obviously. They know how to do it. They know how to get it done. They've done it before. It's going to be, they're very determined and they're laser focused. And so I wouldn't want to be here with anyone else. I'm really happy with who we have and look forward to tomorrow.
And Ed, 15 wins this year, and the other half of the championship 4. Talk about your success this year.
So, one of the things that we focus on with our teams is the family aspect of it. We really are a true racing family and work very closely together. And you've all followed the personal stories that have happened within the different teams this year with Sherry and with now Barney in the hospital and one of the crew guys from Furniture Row passing away unexpectedly. Obviously, we're still all praying for J.D. Gibbs. You may not have heard, but we also had another passing recently. So one of the things that I think is really, really part of our family is the fact that we work completely together across all lines, and it's very evident with everything that we do. This morning, you saw when Martin rubbed against the wall, we had the 18 guy out there trying to help him and working with him. So we're really, really happy about the way that these teams have all gelled together since 2007 when we came into the Cup Series, and we think that the relationship that we have between the drivers and the teams, the crew chiefs, and everybody is a huge part of our success.
Thank you, gentlemen. With that, we'll open up to questions from the media. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliations. We'll start here in front with Jim.
Jim Utter, Motorsport.com. You touched on this briefly, Jim, but can you talk a little bit about what Dale Earnhardt Jr. has obviously meant a lot to the fans, to the sport in general, but also he and his family have a long legacy with Chevrolet. What has that legacy meant to Chevrolet?
Well, as you all know, it's been very special. I mean, the Earnhardt family and Chevrolet have just a long history together, and we all watched Dale Jr. grow up around the track. You know his story where he worked in his father's dealership in the lube rack and changed oil as a mechanic and a technician, and then he ran in the modified series. He worked his way up with his brother Kerry and his sister Kelly, and then graduates into Xfinity, wins 20-some races, 24 races, and then 2 championships. And that was back to back. It was incredible. Moves up to the Cup Series, obviously at DEI, and then later with Hendrick, and delivered 26 wins. And think about his record at the super speedways: 10 wins at super speedways, 9 runner-ups, and obviously within that win number are 2 Daytona 500 championships. And what he's done for Chevrolet off the track, he's helped us introduce new vehicles, cars, and trucks. He's done SEMA projects with us. He's introduced new crate engines. He's gone to a lot of our factories. And the 5th-gen Camaro, we actually had him out of our proving grounds before we introduced the car to drive it and give our engineers feedback on the handling and the dynamics. He's just been a great partner all the way through. And then to see what he has done through his foundation to give back to others and great causes is incredible. If you look the number of charities and causes that they have provided, benefit and support to, it is almost too long to list. Is incredible. But a couple that come to mind: Make-A-Wish. He's done over 250 wishes, and he's one of the most popular Make-A-Wish, partners, if you will. And then a strong partnership with Nationwide and their Columbus Children's Hospital. Those are just 2 examples. And so he's just an amazing guy on the track, amazing guy off the track, and we look forward to a long partnership with him and Kelly and their team for many years to come.
We'll go next to Jeff.
Dave, not to bring up a sore subject, but it's been 12 years since you guys have won a Cup championship. What would it mean both inside your organization, but also clearly from a sales and marketing point of view if you do win tomorrow?
Yeah, I don't see that as a sore subject. I see that as motivation. It's time, right? We owe that to our fans and to our employees and to everybody that's been with us throughout the years. So it is time for us to get it done. We plan to do that. And what will it mean to us? I mean, obviously it means a lot to our program itself. It means a lot as far as the sponsorship goes and keeping that going. And then clearly we're going to leverage that for our marketing, activation and things like that. So, you can't. I think it would be very hard to define what winning a championship does, but it definitely is it's huge, and we want it more than ever. And like I said, I don't take that as it's okay. It's been a long time.
Up front here.
Mark Canal, Autosport.com. Question for Jim. Ed, as well. You've got the new Camry and you've got the new Camaro. Do you see translation of interest from the showroom because of that? Is there an increase in sales or interest at all?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say in general, if you don't, I'll go first here. You know, racing's a great platform for us, obviously, because we learn on the track. That's a key reason, and take those learnings and drive it back to the showroom products, whether the vehicle or the powertrain or the integration. It's a great place to develop engineers. We love all that. But when you have a chance to win races and go and vie for championships, it does lift, you know, what people think of Chevrolet. And we do see more people put Chevrolet on their shopping lists that are fans in the motorsports category. NASCAR is one of them. Chevrolet's involved in 5 major series, and some of our sister divisions are in racing as well in the company. And so we do see a translation to sales. And in the midways, what we love about racing is race fans get to the track early. I mean, they get here sometimes days early, many times hours early. And those midway areas is where we can show them all new Chevrolet cars, trucks, crossovers, our parts, accessories, crate engines. And oftentimes, if they're Chevrolet customers, they discover what's new about Chevrolet. If they're not, particularly Ford and Toyota customers, we're very interested in getting them to come to our camp, Ed, Dave. And so we
Doesn't
obviously and so we do see that the translation to sales for sure, absolutely. And then Camaro for us, if you look at where we race Camaro in another road racing series. Camaro GT4 won a championship. Camaro's running the NHRA and what we call stock eliminator, the kind of the sportsman classes, pro stock all the way through. We just had a sweep in NHRA and championships. And so Camaro running Xfinity and now in Cup really puts a focus on Camaro for racing. It's great.
Yeah, the short answer for us is yes. You know, if you saw at the Detroit Auto Show when we introduced the new Camry, we also introduced the Cup car alongside with it. It was designed side by side by our designers in Southern California, so they were working on the production vehicle along with the Cup car. And we've already seen the Camry's only been out for a few months now, but we've already seen the demographic come down slightly on Camry, and it has been a little bit of an aging brand over time. And also that segment is also struggling overall as people start moving more to SUVs. So we're really happy with the styling of it. It's probably the most aggressively styled Camry that we have ever had, and the response has just been tremendous. And so the answer is yes.
Have time for 1 or 2 more. We'll go to Greg.
Greg Engel, Auto Week. Continue on that same kind of theme. The move, you know, used to be that, you know, win on Sunday, sell on Monday, and all that. But with the trend for the automotive buyer nowadays, the automotive public is 2 areas, and that's SUVs and crossovers. And we're selling fewer and fewer sedans and coupes, and that's no secret, and hybrids. How long do all of you think, you know, motorsports can still be relevant in that arena? Are we looking at decades? Are we looking at a decade, a few years? How can we translate the use of sedans and coupes to an automotive public that is generally going towards crossovers and SUVs and hybrids?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great question, but you know what we're creating by what we're doing are brand ambassadors for the entire brand, and I think that, you know, everyone wants to be a part of a winning team, and they want to know that the car company that they're investing in, you know, is successful and that they have great engineering and what. So we are creating again those brand ambassadors. So yes, you're right. That's where a lot of the sales are, but they're still out there talking to their friends and family and people that they know, and they're delivering the message that we want them to deliver. So it does work for us quite well. And I think, you know, as we see the world change, I think motorsports are going to obviously, you know, that's going to change as well. And so I think we'll keep, you know, pace with everything that's going on in the industry. But I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but I mean, it absolutely works for us to create those brand ambassadors.
Yeah, we've seen evolution before. I mean, this car-based SUV thing, and we're starting to get up in the 65% range with regard to car-based SUVs. There'll have to become a time when it's going to level off. But I think Dave is absolutely right, and we've had these conversations many times in the past. Collectively, is the affinity for the brand that gets built around the racing program. So it works very well for us. When we started in Cup in 2007, amongst NASCAR fans, our brand affinity was running about 15%. Now it runs about 65. So it works.
We have a few moments left, and we'll close things out with Reed.
Can I get Jim to answer that question?
Yeah. I mean, I would just say that, We're in 5 series with Chevrolet, and those are moments to create energy and excitement, enthusiasm for Chevrolet overall. And then, as I mentioned, at all those places, I've got part of our teams back here in the back. They do on-site activation, online activation. We're leveraging these platforms to tell a broader Chevrolet story. And it does touch on all the different new entries, whether it's our new Equinox or new Traverse, or it's a new pickup entry, or we do have, in our Midway, you'll see us with our Volt and Bolt. The Bolt's 238 miles nominal range with 1 charge. It's amazing technology, and the industry's moving very quickly. So we'll always use it as a platform to tell our entire story, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Cars, crossovers, and trucks, parts and accessories is what we focus on in our Midways, but also online. It's not just at the track.
Great.
I've got 2 quick ones for Jim first. Is all the data that you collect in the development of the Camry, the Camaro, excuse me,
He collects data on the Camry, too.
That too.
is that available to all?
We understand that he is collecting data on the Camry, by the way.
I didn't hear Ed. What did he say? What did he say? No, I'm sorry. So your question
Is all
again?
that data available to the Chevy team?
Absolutely. We run what's called a Key Partners program in all of our major teams. And I see Alba Colon sitting right here, who's our program manager on the Cup side. We work together as one team on common development, particularly at the beginning of a new vehicle. You're in the tunnel together. You're doing a lot of aero development together. You're doing performance integration together. And in today's day and age of motorsports, every dollar you spend it is a precious dollar. So we try to do common projects together to move the whole performance of our Chevrolet team lineup ahead. And then the teams are going to take a moment where they're going to do their own point of difference. It's just going to happen. But more and more projects come in through our Key Partners program. Alba, Pat Sui, Mark Kent on our team lead that process with the teams.
And for Dave, with the Camaro coming into the Cup Series, are you contemplating introducing the Mustang perhaps? And has one been submitted to NASCAR yet?
Great question.
That is a good question.
Jim's been waiting for this answer.
Good. Thank you. Thank you for asking it. Go ahead.
So thanks for asking it. Listen, we always look at what's going on in the showroom and where we're going with our product development cycle plan. And so we did introduce a new Fusion, a couple years ago, and we will be looking at, introducing a new car in the future. We have not submitted anything as of yet, but stay tuned.
With that, these gentlemen have to roll to the drivers' meetings, but I wanted to wish you luck tonight and tomorrow, and good luck the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.